Hello everybody. So this is the promised follow-up video, and in this one we're going to talk about why this is the best car that I've owned so far, at least in my life. You know, it's easy to talk about the stuff that you love about a car, right? Because it comes natural. When I made the video about, you know, why it's the worst car is, you know, I had to think about, you know, logically. But in this video, it's going to be easy. And this is basically why I love this car so much. And now, yes, you might call me a hypocrite because I might be talking about the same thing that I talked about before, just in a different light. But I'm going to do it anyway, right? I'm making the video after all. And hopefully the last one didn't shock you to the point of where you just cannot stand me or this channel. So first and foremost, why is this the best car? I think this is the best looking car I've owned. Now, the one that I'm comparing it the most is the 2010 Buick LaCrosse. I loved how, and I still do, how the 2010 Buick LaCrosse looks. I still think it's an awesome looking car. But it had some elements of like Asian design in it, and it had some pretensions to be sporty. This has none of that. It has that classic good looks. It's stately. It's got the hood ornament. By the way, the only car I've owned so far in my life with a hood ornament. I love it. It's not sporty at all. And if you know anything about me, I'm not into sports cars. I don't drool over Lamborghinis or McLarens or Lotus, whatever. Yeah, this is it. When I think of a classic, good-looking car, this is the car I imagine. And yes, there's Cadillacs in there too, and the Buicks and all that. But this is what I need as far as the looks. Now, this is the best riding car I've ever owned. Now, I've had a 2007 Camry. It was smooth, right, for a Camry. Or for, you know, a mid-size sedan. The Buick LaCrosse, once again, a direct comparison, it was also good. But this is better. And yes, it's got that air ride suspension. Luckily, it still works on this vehicle. And on the highway, as good as a Camry is, and as good as the LaCrosse is, that rear air shocks, when they work properly, when they haven't been converted, and it probably we can't see that through here, can we? No, not really. Well, it's there. You're just gonna have to trust me. Yeah, it does wonders. It's on the highway. If you guys remember earlier in the year, I had some series of videos where I took longer road trips for a job I had at the time. Yeah, this is better. No doubts about it. So there's that. Yeah, none of the cars I had can even come close to it. What else? It's got the biggest trunk. Now, in my videos, in my last video, I pointed out that it's unreasonably huge. But I tell you, the couple times, and this is literally a couple times where I needed it, yeah, this is the biggest trunk I had in any of the cars that I've had. This is probably more than you know, my Sentra and my Chevy Cavalier combined. Now, this is also the only car that I've had with this, which I think is a pretty useless feature, to be honest with you. Like I usually don't do this, but yeah, I mean, it's good that it's there. All right. This is the only car. So why this is the best car I've had? This is the only car I had, or have, that actually prompted me to do something about it. Now, here's what I mean by that. All the other cars I had, I never filmed them. I took pictures of them, you know, a few here and there, just for fun. But this car inspired me to start a YouTube channel, right? My Sentra didn't. Now, I think YouTube wasn't around. But the LaCrosse, I'm actually shocked that the Buick LaCrosse didn't prompt something in my head to start filming it. And then this could be, you know, road trips. I took tons and tons and tons of road trips in the Buick LaCrosse. And I took tons of pictures. I really did. I'll try and post some of them. But for some reason, this car is the first one that actually prompted me to start filming, start a YouTube channel. I didn't do it for the money, and I'm still not doing it for the money. But just because it inspired me to do that, I figured, hey, it would be interesting for me to do, and it would be obviously interesting for you to watch. And if I make a few dollars in the process, you know, even better. Yeah. I am kicking myself for not doing it with the LaCrosse, because I'm sure there would have been plenty people wanting to watch it, and I would have had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah, took it to New York, took it to Florida, California, Las Vegas, all of it. But you know what, this car, it inspired me. Yeah. Next, moving on. This is the only car that kind of forced me out of my comfort zone as far as working on the car myself. Now, if you guys know anything about me, you know, I'm not too mechanically inclined, all right? I can do some house stuff by myself. I've done some minor remodeling, but everything that I've done in this car, I haven't done on any of the other cars. Now, you can argue I never really had a need to do it on any other car, but if somebody would have told me, you know, a few years back, Vitaly, you're going to be sitting on the ground putting Flex Seal on your rims because they're so corroded, you just want to do something about it. I would be like, no. And when I had my Sentra, I would have said, no. A, why would I ever need to do that? I mean, new cars don't have these problems, right? If somebody would have told me, Vitaly, you would have water leak, but then it will force you to kind of be creative and start looking for where the problem is, doing some troubleshooting. Or looking at the sunroof issue, or looking at the leaks. And now, I didn't fix the leaks myself, but you know what I mean. Kind of like to be more creative and to kind of step outside of this whole realm that I have a new car. Nothing is ever wrong with it, but on the few occasions that it is, you know, you're actually going to do something about it. Yeah, it caused me to kind of step outside of this whole norm of nothing is ever wrong. I just have a boring car. It starts and goes wherever I want to, whenever I want to, and that's it. Yeah. So some of these repairs that you see, this is me. Now, other times when it's more mechanical stuff, yeah, I mean, I obviously pay somebody to do it, but the bottom line is it gave me some sort of a purpose. Now, we are inside already, obviously, if you haven't noticed. So the next point is, this town car has everything I need and nothing I don't. Here's what I mean by that. I need wood on my steering wheel. I love it. Now, the only car that I had besides this town car is, once again, Buick LaCrosse. It had the little strip of wood on top. All right. It had more beautiful gauges. I got to give it that. But the other wood steering wheel. The heated seats. I love to have heated seats. I wish every car had heated seats. So my LaCrosse had it. The Forester, our current other car, has it. And the Camry, because I had an XLE, it had like little switches, I think, here on the bottom. Yeah, heated seats I love. The memory feature I couldn't care less about. I mean, I'm the only one who drives it. Yeah, so heated seats is good. It has air AC. Okay, it works as of the filming of this. It has sunroof. I love sunroofs. Look at this beautiful sky. Yeah, just about every car that I had had a sunroof, with the exception of the 2013 Elantra and a Chevy Cavalier. I think all the other cars had it or have it. All right, these seats. Now, I know I'm sitting in, here's my bag of for GoPro stuff. These seats are the most comfortable seats in any of the cars that I had. LaCrosse had comfy seats, not gonna lie. But they were still more on the sporty side. These are awesome. And it still smells like leather inside. After, 2006, after 15 years, somehow it still smells like leather. I don't know. I don't know why. How? How did they do it? All right. Climate control, I couldn't care less about the auto climate control, but others have it. And as of the filming of this, I'm having problems still with it. So we're not going to talk about there. But, yeah. It has everything I need. It has a tachometer, which I love. Has the buttons on the steering wheel. I wish it had Bluetooth, but you know what? It has Bluetooth, so I do need it for legal purposes. Yeah. So, all right, let's go out for a minute. Now, I also tell you this. It also has the comfiest rear seats ever. Speaking of the rear seats. Now, unfortunately, I don't get... Oh, God, my bag again. Oh, my God. This is life. Like this right here. This is life. It has the comfiest rear seats. Now, I don't get to enjoy them. But I tell you, it is really nice. God, I'm trying to remember if Buick had rear air vents or not. But I think this is one of the rare times where I have rear air vents in a car. Because Camry, I don't believe... Man, did Camry had it? See, now I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, climate control. I mean, yeah, my kid does enjoy the climate control. Not the climate, but the air vents, you know. Wow. Yeah, like seriously, like I could just sleep here. And the good thing is about this car is that the seats, the back seats are not destroyed, so they are just as comfy here. All right. What else? Well, I guess I could wrap it up. You see, this is, I mean, as far as the engine goes, yeah, it's powerful. It's nice. It's very non-demanding engine so far. It hasn't stranded me anywhere, you know, despite of all the rust, despite of all the, you know, the age. Now, keep in mind, this is the highest mileage car I owned as of the filming of this. It's got 107,000 miles. The highest mileage that I got up to on any other car was 102,000 miles, and this was on the LaCrosse, because in 5 years I racked up over 100,000 miles because of all the road trips. And oh, no, staring me right in the face. This keypad, I use it more often just to lock and unlock the car, but I love it. I wish every car should have it. This is the... Now, I never locked my keys in the car, at least not that I can recall, but this is great. This feature, although it is a wrong color for the car, I wish they would have color matched these things, or just, I don't know, made them some sort of other than black color. But yeah, these things are useful. So, and I guess the last thing, my last point, is how this car makes me feel. No other car, maybe with a close second of that LaCrosse. I know I keep telling it, and I wish I would have made some videos of that thing. No other car makes me feel like this one does every morning, whether it's for work or not, where I reach into my pocket, I grab, well, first I guess I grab this remote, which is a little dirty at this point. I do click. It does a solid click, or sometimes 2 clicks if I have to drop my kid off at school. And I punch this key in, and I start it, and then I drive it. I'm telling you, like, this is poetry. And you know what? I climbed this thing before. Maybe I'm not going to climb it too far up. Look how overgrown this thing is. I'm filming it on the back of that plaza. Let's see. Stop. Do not enter. Well, here. Because on GoPro there's no zoom, so might as well just stand up here. Now, I climb up there at some point early on in one of my first few videos out there. But I was doing it with my phone that had actual zoom, so here, if I climb up there, you guys won't be able to even see the car. So anyway, yeah, this thing is a great car. Despite all its faults, it's how it makes me feel. So here you go. I'm coming down. I live on the 2nd floor, so I guess this is an accurate reenactment. I get in. Well, it's already unlocked. So let's see. Oh, look at my shirt. I didn't even realize. USA. I open it up. Alright, I pull on this thing that's awesome in its own right. It starts every time, despite its age, despite the fact that it's old and rusted underneath, despite the fact that I had to fix a lot of the issues with it. I click the belt, and by the way, another cool thing, the column shifter. My only car that had a column shifter. None of the other ones did, but I love it. I wish every car had it. Oh, okay, clicks the doors. and then I start driving it. I grip to my favorite wood part of the wheel, or now with this steering wheel cover sewn on, and I just drive it, and it just glides. And that's the thing. That's the intoxicating feeling. Okay, somebody else is here. Let's see. Yep. And I give it just a tap, just a little love tap on the pedal, and it goes. And I have that long expanse of the hood up front. Yeah, it drinks gas. Yeah, it has problems. But guess what? I drink too, and I have problems too myself. So it reflects the owner. And you know what? There's nothing else. And when all that happens, when everything kind of falls into place, and whether I'm commuting to work, or like I'm filming right now, I'm going to go to a grocery store. Despite the fact that it's old, despite the fact that this display, I know which you guys probably can't see, it belongs in a car from the 80s. This little green dot matrix stuff, right? You know, and then you look at everything else that's on the road. There's a Civic, there's a Maxima. None of these things even closely compare to what this car, how this car makes me feel when I drive it. And that, oh, gotta probably close this. And that's the biggest thing. That's why this is the best car that I've owned so far. It's just this feeling, just euphoria of piloting 2 tons of metal that has you feeling like you're piloting a $1 million car. You know, that Rolls Royce, that whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what to compare it to. Yeah, and that's why this is the best car I've owned, period. It's also one of the cheapest cars I own, which I didn't even think about it until now. That Buick LaCrosse, by the way, that I keep referring to, it cost $39,000. Basically, after tax, it was like a $43,000 car. Yeah, I paid it off and everything. Like, you know, financed it over 3 years. But yeah, that car made me feel great too when I was driving it and all, and I loved how it looked. But $43,000. This one, with all of its repairs, I mean, as of the moment of filming this, I'm filming this in September, $12,000 to $13,000. So it's cheaper than that Sentra. I think the 2003 Sentra 2.5 limited edition ended up being like $16,500. So even it can't touch that. All right. So the bottom line is, now you guys know. You saw why I think it's the worst car I ever had. And now you guys know why this is the best car I ever owned. So make your judgments. Make your decision. Post in the comments. What do you guys think? Am I a hypocrite? Am I just making content for content's sake? But I tell you, I'm going to keep this town car, and I'm not going to get something like this Cross Tour in front of us, because that thing sucks. This car I love. See you, everybody.